Hey YouTube, this is Derek from Air Capital Hot Rods Garage. On today's episode, we're not working on cars, but we are going to build a paint booth. What we're going to do is we're going to work on building this paint booth out of PVC. I got a little plan here, got all my parts, so we're going to cut a bunch of PVC and glue some of it together, and hopefully it'll make a good paint booth. Alright, so I already started on it a little bit. So I made one section of it. It's going to be about 20 feet long, plus a little bit more, and about 12 feet wide. That way I have plenty of room to walk around vehicles. So as you can see, I got a whole pile of 1-inch PVC, and I got several bags of T's and crosses and 45-degree elbows, and I got some more parts over here. So one thing I already learned is I want to be able to take it apart, so I'm not going to glue everything together. But if you look along here, it's kind of hard to see, it bows. So I'm hoping by gluing this joint right here, this way, I can stick that in there and it'll be a little more secure. You know, this is kind of, I had this idea in my head and everything, and I think preferably you'd go with a little bit bigger. 1 inch is kind of just the weight of its own is stressing it, and I got to put plastic on it, so we're gonna see how that works. I think you know, if we did 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches surely would be big enough. So but the 2-inch, or sorry, the 1-inch stuff, I spent about $200 on so far. So yeah, so 1.5 inches, that's just going to be a little bit more. So but follow along and we'll see how it goes. Alright, I wanted to pause, explain a little bit what I'm doing. So I got these pieces here. This is the bottom, and these are all the same pieces here. So they have a T there, and so there's 5 feet in between each one of these. So we're going to go up 5 feet, and then like right there we have an elbow, and then another cross. And so there's going to be another crossbar coming, you know, out like this. It'll actually be going across. Another 4 feet. Then we get to our 45 here, and then this is the top of it. And there's another crossbar there. And then we come back down with a 45, and then down there. So I got all these pieces laid out. It's kind of big. So now I'm going to start assembling them, and I think what I'm going to do is, well, eventually I want to glue these pieces together just so that they don't fall apart as I'm moving stuff around. But I can't do that till I get it all kind of assembled, because the angle of this 45 needs to be exactly perpendicular to this. So I want to make sure everything works out correctly. Might go ahead and glue these 45s here on one of the ends of either this pipe or this pipe, and same thing here. Just give it a little bit more rigidity and less deflection as you're setting stuff up and moving it. When I did my first one, it kind of wasn't exactly straight because all those joints, every single one of them was twisting and turning as I'm trying to set it up. So a little bit of glue will definitely help some of that out. So so there's four middle pieces that are exactly the same, and then the two end pieces, they have a couple more vertical uprights and stuff. So obviously when you got a car in the middle of it, you can't have the vertical uprights, but on either end I can have the uprights. And so I don't know if I'm going to take out the back wall when I pull a vehicle in, or if I'm going to build this around the car. Haven't really gotten there yet. So yeah, that's it. So we're going to start assembling some of these uprights here. Alright, as I was working on kind of pre-assembling this stuff, I realized something I could do, rather than having 5 feet in between each one of them to pre-assemble it and everything. What I can do is I got a bunch of little pieces left over like this, so I can cut a couple of these, you know, instead of the 5-foot bars, go about 2.5 inches, and then just basically stack them on top of each other. That way they'll all be in line with each other, and then it'll be easier to store that way. And then when I'm ready to put it together, I just pop out the little 2-inch pieces and put into 5-foot pieces. So I think I'm going to cut some of those and then try that out. And then I'll also help out with the alignment of each fitting with relationship to each other and those angles to each other. So that should work out pretty good. All right, so that worked pretty good. So I got the 4 middle ones all stuck together. So I could actually go ahead and stand this up. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and build my end walls on top of this. So like I was saying, normally instead of that little space, there's 5 feet in between each one of these. And there's 5 feet between the front wall, and on the back wall there's going to be 3 feet in between it. So it's basically 23 feet wide or deep. So which is going to be pretty much right to the edge of my garage, and hopefully it fits underneath the garage door opener and the tracks and everything, which is what I planned for. So it's going to fill up the garage. Basically my 2-car bay here, it's gonna there's gonna be the one vehicle in there that we're painting, and then on the other side I'll have to make some room for another vehicle. Just a FYI, so what I was cutting this 1-inch PVC with is this ratcheting PVC cutters. This one will go up to 2.5 inch diameter, and it's really easy. I mean, it just ratchets down, and then you just slice right through them. So, you know, this makes it go pretty quick, and way better than like cutting it with a hacksaw or a sawzall or something like that. You know, if you're going to build this with as many cuts there is, you know, get the right tool. I've had this for a while. I think it was, you know, 15, 20 bucks. Not terribly expensive, and well worth it. Then you get accurate cuts and everything. So, yeah, get this. And then we'll kind of take a look at the finished product here. So, like I said, there's 5 segments in there. So, and when we're ready to actually put it up, we're going to replace each one of these little pieces with a 5-foot segment. So we might have to do a little bit more reinforcement, put some diagonals in it or something, because it's kind of wobbly. You can kind of see it there. You know, I don't know if when you put the 5-foot sections on, if that's going to matter too much. And then also, I mean, we're going to put a piece of plastic over it. You know, plastic's pretty light, but when you have 23 feet of it, nearly 8 feet tall, you know, it starts to add up. And then we're going to put air in it. You know, it's going to be ventilated. So now you're pressurizing it. So what kind of loads does that put on it? So we'll have to see how this holds up, you know. It'll be interesting. But, you know, if everything does work out, it should keep the bugs out and dirt out of the paint, which is the whole point of it. But, so we'll see. Thanks for watching.